Okay, everybody. So today we will start a very important system of your body, which is mainly responsible for the excretion of toxic chemicals with water from the body. So the major excretory system of the body is the urinary system. Okay? Most of the toxic chemicals with water gets out from the body by the urinary system. So first we'll see the parts of this system, then we'll talk about the functions, then we'll talk about the organs of the urinary system. What are the organs of the urinary system? Urinary system consists of two kidneys, right and left, two ureters, one urinary bladder, and one urethra. Okay, so these are the organs of the urinary system. Now, all these organs are same in male and female, except the urethra. This part is much shorter in female and long in male. Other parts or organs are exactly same. Now, the kidneys. If I ask you in one sentence, tell me the function of the kidneys. Kidneys produce what? Urine. Now if I ask you how? By filtration. By filtration. So kidneys produce urine by the process called filtration. Is it clear? Okay. Now that urine contains water and other chemicals. Most of those chemicals are toxic chemicals. Okay? So, through the urine, toxic chemicals get out from the body. Ureters. Ureters are tubes that take the urine from the kidney to the bladder. Okay? So, transport urine from the kidneys to the bladder. Make sense? So narrow tubes. Then how many bladder you have? One. Bladder holds the urine for few to several hours. And when you desire, you can excrete the urine to the outside of the body through the urethra. So, urethra takes the urine from the bladder to the atmosphere. So, bladder to the outside of the body. Okay? So, these are the organs and their functions. Now, here you see two kidneys, bean-shaped organs located in the lumbar region, here in the back of the body. Now, the kidneys are retroperitoneal. In last class, I also mentioned retroperitoneal organs. That means they are outside of the peritoneal cavity, behind the peritoneal cavity. Most of the organs in your abdomen are intraperitoneal, inside the peritoneal cavity, right? Few organs are outside of the cavity, like duodenum, kidneys, those are retroperitoneal. Then, one thing you see here, the right kidney is slightly lower than the left. Why is that? Because you know already that liver is mostly in the right side of the body, right? Right lobe of the liver is much bigger than the left. Remember that? So, to provide some room for the liver, right side of the liver, the kidney, when the liver grows, kidneys move down. Make sense? When the body grows, the liver grows, that pushes the kidney down. Okay, these are the ureters. Take the urine from the kidneys to the bladder. This is the urethra. If I ask you the individual function of these organs that I have explained. Now, as a whole, the urinary system performs some important functions. Number one, I have already mentioned, it is the major excretory system of the body, right? Most of the toxic chemicals get out from the body through the urine. Okay? Regulation of blood volume. If you drink a lot of water, okay, then your urinary system will do what? Produce more urine, right? Because after you drink a lot of water, that water enters into the blood, right? The volume of blood goes up, which is not good. It should stay, same. So in that case, kidneys will produce more urine to excrete the excess water from the body. Your body needs water, right? But excess amount should be taken out from the body. So that is how the kidneys or urinary system regulates the blood volume as well as the volume of the water in the body. Regulation of chemical composition. Kidneys excrete certain chemicals. For example, if you take too much salt, which is sodium chloride, you know that, it will break into sodium and chloride. And if you take too much, then in your blood you will have more sodium, which is not good. So excess amount of sodium will be excreted out from the body. So that's how the kidneys or urinary system regulates the chemical composition of your blood. If the calcium concentration goes up above normal, then excess amount of calcium will be excreted through the urine. So it maintains the chemical composition in your blood. Regulation of pH. This one. Your pH is regulated by, you already know, hydrogen ion. You must remember from NP1, you should help me. If hydrogen ion concentration in your blood increases, blood becomes acidic or alkaline? Acidic. That means pH goes down. Low pH means acidic. Remember this relationship? Okay. So more hydrogen, pH goes down, that means acidic. Okay. So if in your blood hydrogen ion concentration increases, that will cause acidosis, right? Your body will become acidic, which is not good. So in this case, the kidneys will excrete excess hydrogen ion from the blood. Make sense? To bring the pH back to normal. Very simple. If something is excess, kidney will excrete it. Is it clear? If blood is more than normal that you need, kidneys will excrete it. If any chemical is more, kidneys will excrete. If hydrogen ion concentration increases, that is dangerous, kidneys will excrete that. That's how the kidneys regulate the pH. Endocrine function. Inside the kidney, couple of chemicals are produced. One is called the renin. Renin is an important chemical produced by the kidneys, which is responsible for the regulation of blood pressure. So blood pressure regulation. We'll talk about this more later. Erythropoietin, you already know this one. Erythropoietin stimulates the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells, erythrocytes. That's why it is called erythropoietin. Make sense? So erythropoietin, also called renin erythropoietin. Renin means kidney. So renin erythropoietin, or erythropoietin, is the chemical that is produced in the kidneys and that stimulates the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells. That's why it is called erythropoietin. Activation of vitamin D. In NP1, I told you that with the help of sun, how many of you remember? Skin produces a chemical called what? Cholecalciferol. You remember anybody? Okay. So this cholecalciferol is inactive vitamin D, precursor of vitamin D. So blood takes the cholecalciferol from the skin to the kidneys, and inside the kidney you have the converting enzyme CE that converts inactive cholecalciferol to calcitriol. Calcitriol, which is active vitamin D. So this is vitamin D. So you see, kidney has converting enzyme that converts the cholecalciferol, inactive cholecalciferol, to active calcitriol, which is active vitamin D. So that's how the kidneys help in the synthesis of vitamin D. Why vitamin D is needed? Anybody?
Bone health.
Yeah. How? Vitamin D helps the bone.
Stimulates the calcification process.
Yes. Absorption of calcium from the food you eat. So vitamin D works on the intestine and helps to absorb more calcium. Make sense? So more calcium will go to the body and will deposit in the bone matrix, right? Will make the bones strong. Another. Okay. Now, the parts of a kidney. Kidney is a bean-shaped structure. The area of the kidney where the blood vessels pass through and also the ureter comes out. That area is called the hilum, H-I-L-U-M. So this is the kidney, okay, and the artery, vein, ureter, all those structures are attached here in that indented area, and that is called the hilum. Okay. So you have renal artery, renal vein, ureter. Okay? Pass through the hilum. Now, the surface of the kidney is covered by the renal capsule. So, the kidney is covered by a connective tissue capsule or membrane that is called the renal capsule. Renal means kidney. Okay, that is the outer surface. Now, if I cut the kidney this way and see inside, outer part is called the cortex. So, outer cortex, and inner part is called the medulla. So, this part is called medulla. Okay, so outer cortex, inner medulla. In the medulla, you will see triangular, like pyramid shaped structures. Have you seen pyramid? Yes? No? Pyramid? Real or picture? Picture. Anybody saw real? No? So you need to go to Egypt, right?
Have you seen it?
No. I want to. Okay. So, pyramid shaped structures in the medulla. Okay. So, these are called renal pyramids. So very easy. Okay. So, these are pyramids. The area between the pyramids is called column. Renal column. Okay. So this is one pyramid, this is another, and in between this area is called what? Renal column. Okay. Now, if I take one pyramid and half of the column like this, then again this pyramid and half of the column in both sides, that part is called renal lobule. So one pyramid and adjacent columns together is called a lobule. Now, the pointed part of the pyramid, here you see the pointed part that is facing inwards. This part is called papilla. Papilla. Okay. So these are the structures you will see inside. Now, this is important to know that from the papilla, the urine is released here. So from the tip of the pyramid, urine is secreted here and taken into a funnel-shaped structure like this. Another funnel-shaped structure is here, like this. Another funnel-shaped structure here. So these funnel-shaped structures that receive the urine from the papilla of the pyramid, these are called minor calyx. Minor calyx. So it is like this. Look at me. This is the pyramid. This is the papilla. Okay. So urine is secreted here, and this is the funnel here. Okay, facing the papilla. So it receives the urine. Okay, and this is called the minor calyx. Make sense? And few minor calyces join together and form a major calyx, and then from major calyx the urine enters into the renal pelvis and then ureter. So this is how the urine gets out from the kidney. So I am repeating again. Papilla secretes urine into the minor calyx. Minor calyces give the urine to major calyx. Then major calyces give the urine to renal pelvis, which is the wider part here, and that comes out from the kidney. So this part is the renal pelvis, and then it gets narrow tube, that is the ureter. Okay. Now let's see in the picture here. That will make it easy. So this is the outer part called what? Cortex. And the covering is called what? Capsule. Right? And inner part is called what? The medulla. Make sense? And the medulla has the pyramids. The pointed part of the pyramid is called the papilla. Is it clear? And papilla secretes the urine into minor calyx. So you see, this is one minor calyx, this is another, like funnels. And they receive the urine from the papilla and give to the major calyx. Okay. So these are minor calyces, and they give the urine to the major calyx. Okay. Same thing here, minor calyces, this is major calyx. And then from major calyces, the urine enters into this wider part of the tube, that is called the renal pelvis. Here, this is the renal pelvis that comes out from the kidney and gets narrow and becomes the ureter. Okay? Goes to the kidney. So that's how the urine gets out. Blood supply of the kidney. Your kidneys are small organs like this. Look at me, 2 kidneys, right? Like this. But 1/4 of your total blood supply of your body circulates inside those 2 small organs. So, total supply, 1/4 of total blood supply enters into the kidney. So, kidney gets plenty of blood, right? Flow inside it. Why? Why blood goes to the kidneys? Because kidneys filter, right? Filter to separate the toxic chemicals. If less blood enters into the kidney, less filtration will occur. More blood circulates, more filtration will occur, right? So that's why plenty of blood, like 1/4 of blood circulates in 1 minute. That means in each 4 minutes, whole blood of your body flows inside the kidney. Okay? So, which is very efficient to separate the toxic chemicals from the blood. So, your total blood flow or cardiac output is about 5,000 milliliter. That means 5 liter. Okay? And 1/4 of it circulates in 1 minute. That means about 1250 milliliter. Some places it says 1200. So, in 1 minute. So, in each 4 minutes, I can say that whole blood of your body circulates inside the kidney. Therefore, you need to know the blood vessels inside the kidney. Very important. draw the kidney again. You already know that. So these are the pyramids. You must remember the pyramids just a few minutes ago. Okay. So now, this is the hilum. Renal artery enters into the kidney. This is the abdominal aorta. You know that renal artery. And immediately before the renal artery enters into the kidney, it divides into two branches. Those are called segmental arteries. So this is segmental artery. This is one, this is another. Divides like this and enter into the kidney. So, two segmental arteries. And this is renal artery. This is abdominal aorta, right? You know that? Okay. Now what happens? The segmental artery divides into interlobar arteries, and the interlobar arteries enter into the columns. You remember the area between the pyramids is called the column. So this is one column, this is another column. So this is another column here. If I draw another pyramid here, this is another column. So from the segmental artery, the branches enter into the renal columns between the pyramids, and these are called arcuate arteries. You need to know all these arteries. So arcuate artery, okay, in the columns in between the pyramids. Then what happens? Branches from the arcuate artery go like this. See, from arcuate artery the branches go like this along the base of the pyramid, or we can say between the cortex and medulla. So these are called, sorry, let's go back, okay. So from the segmental, the branches enter into the columns. These are called interlobar, not arcuate. So these are interlobar arteries. Interlobar artery. And the branches of interlobar run along the base of the pyramid. These are called arcuate arteries. Okay, so this is one arcuate, this is another arcuate, this is another, this is another. These are running along the base of the pyramid between the cortex and medulla. Arcuate. Now, from the arcuate artery, branches arise like this in the cortex. You see, these branches are in the cortex. Same thing here. Since these are in the cortex, these are called cortical radiate arteries. Cortical radiate arteries. Okay. Now the last thing here, from both sides of cortical radiate, small arteries arise like this. From cortical radiate, several small arteries arise like this, and these are called afferent. Afferent. Since these are very small, these are called arterioles. Afferent arterioles. Okay. So that is the blood supply of the kidney. Now I will quickly go over. Okay. So this is what? The big artery, abdominal aorta, right? And this is the renal artery. Just before it enters into the kidney, it divides into two, like this. And these are called what? Segmental arteries. Is it clear? Then from segmental, branches enter into the columns between the pyramids. And these are called what? Interlobar arteries. Is it clear? And then from interlobar, in right angle, like 90 degree here, branches arise and run along the base of the pyramid, and these are called arcuate arteries, right? And then from arcuate, look at this, the arteries arise, and these arteries are in the cortex, right? In the cortical part. So these are called what? Cortical arteries. Cortical radiate arteries, okay? And then from cortical radiate, small arteries arise. These are called afferent arteries. Is that clear? Okay. So remember this much, then we are not done yet. Okay. So we'll talk from the afferent arteriole later. Just remember that these are the afferent arterioles. Nephron. Nephrons are the functional units of the kidney. Functional units of what? The kidneys. And now you tell me, I mentioned in one sentence. If I ask you in one sentence, what's the function of the kidney? Anybody? Production of urine by filtration, right? You're right. You remember I said that? So, your kidney produces urine by filtration. And I told you now that nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. That means what? Nephron is the smallest structure inside the kidney that can work as a kidney. That means each nephron can do what? Produce urine by filtration. Is it clear? Each nephron can produce urine by filtration. And you have million, 1 point, each kidney has about 1 million nephrons. Just think that inside this much organ, you have how many? 1 million nephrons. So, nephron is very tiny, right? Very small, tube-like structure. So now, if you see the structure of a nephron, how it looks like, let's see. If you see the structure of a nephron, it looks like this. So this is the structure of a nephron. And this part is called the Bowman's capsule, also called glomerular capsule. Same thing. Then this part, you see It is like convoluted, not straight. This is called the proximal convoluted tubule, PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. That means not straight, convoluted. And then next part, you see here, it is like a loop, right? So this part is called loop of Henle. This whole part is called the loop of what? Loop of what? Henle. Now, loop of Henle has two limbs. This one is called descending, this is called ascending. So going downwards, descending limb, going upwards, ascending limb. So this is the descending limb of loop of Henle, and this is the ascending limb of loop of Henle. And then after the loop, you have again convoluted, and this is called the distal convoluted tubule, DCT. And the last part of the nephron is this part. This is the collecting duct. Collecting duct. So now let's repeat again. So inside each kidney, how many nephrons you have? Million, right? So nephron is very tiny, right? But each nephron can do what? Can produce urine. That's why it is called the functional unit of the kidney, right? Now, the nephron has different parts. This very first part is called the Bowman's capsule, also called glomerular capsule. Okay? Then you have convoluted part of the tube, that is called proximal, because this is the, if I show you my arm, this is proximal, this is distal. You know that from NP1. Remember that? Proximal, distal. So early part is proximal, late part is what? Distal. Same thing here. This is proximal convoluted tubule. That is what? Distal convoluted tubule. Make sense? Convoluted. And in between you have what? A loop. Like hairpin like a structure, right? That is called the loop of Henle. Make sense? Okay. Now the loop has how many limbs? Two. Descending and ascending. Okay. And last part is the collecting duct. So distal convoluted tubule enters into the collecting duct. Each collecting duct is connected to a number of nephrons. Like here you have another nephron from this side, another nephron. Okay, this distal convoluted tubule enters here. Another nephron. Okay, this distal convoluted tubule enters here. So in each collecting duct, several nephrons enter. Now, how many of you remember the arteriole arises from the cortical radiate? Afferent arteriole. Remember, I asked you to remember from cortical radiate small arterioles arise. Those are called afferent arterioles, right? Now, each afferent arteriole, this is the afferent arteriole, comes close to the Bowman's capsule and form a capillary ball, a ball of capillary here. So this is the afferent arteriole. You remember the cortical radiate and the afferent arteriole. So now each afferent arteriole forms a ball of capillary like this. And this ball of capillary is called glomerulus. Glomerulus. So glomerulus is a ball of capillary, a tuft of capillary formed by the afferent artery. From the afferent artery. Now, have you seen, old ladies like your grandma sometimes knit sweater? Use the ball of what? Wool, right? So glomerulus is like that. The ball of a tuft of what? Capillary arises from the afferent artery. Okay. Now, if you make it straight, it will be very long. Make sense? Because it is a ball, like ball of worm or wool. Okay? So you can make it straight. So, why you have a ball of capillary here? In the wall of the glomerular capillary, you have pores or fenestrations. You have what? Fenestrations or holes or pores in the wall of the glomerular capillary. This capillary is different than other capillaries of your body. Make sense? This one has more what? Fenestrations or holes, which helps in what? Filtration. Make sense? Helps in filtration. If you have more holes, then filtration will be faster. Okay. That is number one. Now, how the ball of capillary helps there. You see, this is the ball. So blood enters into that capillary ball, and it takes long time to complete circulating inside it, then gets out. Make sense? Because it is very long. So blood enters it and goes like this, stays there for a long time, and then gets out. So if the blood stays there for a long time, filtration will be better, right? So if it quickly enters and quickly leaves, filtration will be not completed. Make sense? So that helps in filtration. So water and chemicals and other chemicals enter here. So fluid from the blood enters here by filtration. So filtration occurs here. Okay. Then after filtration happens, the blood now gets out through this arteriole. So enters through this one, circulates for a long time, and gets out through this one. This is called efferent. Arteriole. So afferent starts with A, so blood arrives into the capillary, and efferent exit, takes the blood out from the glomerulus or capillary ball. let's see what happens. This efferent arteriole forms plexus of capillary, another capillary plexus here around the loop of Henle and proximal convoluted tubule, and this is called peritubular capillary. Peri means around, peritubular capillary. Okay, and from peritubular capillary, just remember this much. We will talk rest part later. So now you now got that how the filtration occurs here.